I would say instead of me finding product management as a career path, it found me. So
how so?
Mind you, this was back in 2010, graduating into a recession. There aren't exactly a lot of companies hiring.
Do we have to know how to code if we want to be a product manager?
No, you don't. You can learn those things. You don't have to have a degree.
This is Flora. Today I have my friend Cecilia with me. She's a lead product manager at Checkr. So a lot of you ask me, if you don't have a tech background, how do you become a product manager? And Cecilia doesn't have a tech background when she was in school. So that's why I invited her to talk and share her story with us. What is your ordinary day like?
It ranges from working with stakeholders internally within the company and also with external stakeholders to define new market opportunities, define product strategy and roadmap, to working with designers and engineers to scope specific solution that solves a problem, all the way to, working on the day-to-day delivery of specific product features, sprint planning, things like that. And as a manager, I also work with my direct reports to make sure that they are working toward their career aspirations. They are blocked to be able to do their jobs well, things like that.
Cecilia is my friend, so I know that she graduated with a degree that's related to education. So how do you transfer from education to tech and become a product manager in the tech industry?
Yeah, it's a bit of a long story. I have a master's degree education, like you said. And the story really began when I was still in graduate school getting my master's degree in education. I saw an opportunity and started my own company while I was still going to school. What happened was that a friend who had a business in mainland China asked me to help with constructing a English website. Because his existing website that was basically Google translated Chinese text into English, and it just didn't make any sense. So he asked for my help to help with the website redesign and the English translation. So in that process, I realized all of the product images in his catalog were just like horrible low quality images. It would be like a product taken in a warehouse with all sorts of messy stuff in the background. So I went down went through the process of trying to find a service that will help me clean up those images so it looked like a professional, proper e-commerce catalog product photo. And I realized there was no good option. You either have to pay an in-house designer hundreds of dollars an hour to process those images, which really is very labor intensive. It doesn't require a lot of high creative skill set. Or you just do that yourself, which is really just like
labor.
Yeah, pure intense labor. And so I realized this would be a good opportunity to actually outsource the kind of work, and there might be a business idea there. So I started a business outsourcing the labor intensive part of image processing to Southeast Asia and targeting primarily e-commerce and online catalog type of clients. I would say that's how I got bitten by the startup bug. And that process was very, very rewarding, seeing that you can turn an idea into actual value add, and that is actually making people's lives better and easier, and you can build a business out of it. So I think that, along with other things, contribute to my decision to pursue a career in technology and particularly to join a startup. And it was a pretty ambitious goal to have, especially coming from an education background. But I think, that in some way helped as well. Mind you, this was back in 2010, graduating into a recession. There aren't exactly a lot of companies hiring, especially companies hiring for technology product managers who didn't come from a technical background.
Yeah.
So what I did was that trying to leverage my education background, I paid close attention to all of the tech companies in the educational technology space.
So it's still related to your field.
Yeah, exactly. I did believe that having that subject matter expertise will allow me to really contribute to the job that I do. And to be honest, I didn't really fully understand what product management was back then. I would say instead of me finding product management as a career path, it found me. So
how so?
I tried just sending emails with 3 simple paragraphs of this is who I am, this is what I've accomplished, and this is what I want to be doing. I just send those emails to firstname@companydomain.com. And needless to say, the response rate was pretty low. One CEO actually responded, suggested that we meet, and he was actually the person who suggested that I connect with the head of product at his company because he saw in me the potential to be a product manager.
Okay.
Yeah, and long story short, next thing I know, I was flying to California and spending 2 days meeting with people in the company, interviewing. At the end of that process, I was offered a job. So I packed up all of my books and clothes and moved across the country.
Oh, wow. Amazing. That's magical. So, yeah, if you were to cold email someone, don't send them a whole long period of stuff. Just 3 paragraphs. It's fine. Can you tell us again what 3 paragraph was that?
Sure. This is what worked for me. A paragraph of brief introduction of who you are, and second paragraph of some of your accomplishments, your capabilities, and then a third paragraph why you're interested in a particular company and what you aspire to do.
Okay, and I actually think that 3 paragraph is very effective communication. If you write too much, you got lost. And that's very important. You tell who you are, why you're interested in one company or industry, and what you have done to prove that you have some potential. So keep that in mind. It's really useful. And then, so I also want to know, what are you thinking when you were cold emailing those people? Because when I was younger, talking to CEOs, feel like they're adults. What would you thinking?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it comes down to you just have to have faith in the value that you can bring to the table. And again, I think being an educator myself, it is my fundamental belief that there's, human knowledge is learnable by human beings, and there's nothing that's fundamentally unlearnable. So if you put your mind to it, you can become an expert. And I think it's between believing yourself and also being clear as to what you look for in a career. To me, it was that experience of starting a company myself made it really clear to me that is the kind of work that I find most rewarding and that I think I can be most effective in. Just make sure that you can make people see it the same way as well.
Okay. Yeah, I do think that the self-awareness is very important, not being not about how other people look at you, but how you see yourself, what you see values you have in yourself. So actually a lot of people drop me a message and ask me if this is only for engineering students or if this is only for Asian people. I guess don't let what you look like or other people tell you who you are limit yourself. Like, you have to think about who you are, what you want it to be, and then you are showing other people you are capable, so then other people can help you. Some people always think that, I have to have a technical degree, or I need to know how to code in order to be a product manager in tech. So, Cecilia, do we have to know how to code if we want to be a product manager?
No, you don't. I mean, I am the perfect example. I did not have a technical background. I didn't take any computer science classes in school. You can learn those things. You don't have to have a degree in computer science. You do have to be proficient technically. And what I mean by that is that you need to be able to speak engineer fluently. You need to be able to have that kind of discussion and give input to technical decisions that are being made. You need to be able to influence architectural discussions, for example. You need to be able to understand the trade-offs and pros and cons between different ways of implementing a particular feature. And you also need to have a good instinct about the level of complexity and the interdependencies of what you are asking engineers to build. Being able to think clearly and articulate clearly logical steps and workflows will get you very far without you having to, you know, how to write code yourself.
I actually heard they have to have people work for them, but they don't really have the right to ask people to work for them.
Yeah, I think it is very well understood that being a product manager, you are expected to lead without authority, and you are an influencer in decision making. And I think what I said earlier definitely holds true in terms of working with engineers, working with people in more of a technical capacity is being able to speak the language that they do and show the fact that you understand where they're coming from. You are an advocate for their perspective. I think that goes beyond just working with engineers. It applies to any type of stakeholders that you need to work with to make decisions. And I can't emphasize this strongly enough, is that you have to be the subject matter expert about your product. I think that is how you establish trust. That's how you establish credibility. That's how people, even though they don't report to you, will come to value your opinion and respect your opinion, and that's how you influence. And my suggestion in really ramping up quickly to become an industry expert is to be curious. I think we can all get overwhelmed when you go into a space that you know nothing about. Just embrace that. And take that as an opportunity to ask questions, and never just ask one question. Try to get to the bottom of everything that you touch. Instead of asking one question, ask 5 follow-up questions, and making sure that you actually understand what has already been built, the existing product landscape, and going beyond that, understand why the decisions are made the way they have been made, what are the considerations, what are the trade-offs, what are the dependencies, and think even though they may not be immediately useful for you to deliver the one thing that you are being asked to deliver at first, but they'll help you in the long run to establish yourself as the subject matter expert.
So the lesson that I learned is ask as many questions as you can. Don't think that you look stupid when you ask too many questions, because that goes a long way. I'm really grateful that Cecilia take this time to talk with me, because I know as a product manager, she is super busy. So
that's true.
Why is a product manager always so busy?
Yeah, that is a really good question. I think it comes down to ownership. I think as a product manager, our job by definition is taking ownership and to ensure a product that you work on is successful. And what that means, especially in a startup environment, is that if there is a job that needs to be done and there's nobody there to do it, then it's your job. So I think that explains a lot of why a lot of product managers lead very busy lives. And it's like parenting. Your product is your baby, and you should be able to speak to what it takes to be a successful parent. It's definitely a lot of work.
So if you are thinking about being a product manager, be prepared that your life is going to be busy. And so if you want an easy life, think about it first. Okay, so thank you so much. We got a lot of information.